What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and this is going to be a very different video. As you could probably tell, I am missing a finger. If you've been following me on Twitter, then you know about what's been happening with me over the past couple of days. The past couple of days have been hell for me. I cut my finger off at work, and it just went downhill from there. And I know it sounds crazy because you would think, oh, cutting your finger off is the worst part. But honestly, it wasn't. So I cut my finger off at work. I'm on a job site that is about an hour and 45 minutes away from the nearest hospital. From what I was told when I called 911, it would take longer for an ambulance to reach me as opposed to me traveling to the hospital myself. So I had to drive myself from my job site with my finger sitting in a cup of ice through 5 o'clock traffic all the way to the nearest hospital, which was 2 hours. I would say the drive was probably about 2 hours and 15 minutes with traffic. I get there. I go into the emergency room. I have my finger on a cup of ice. Now, the first lady I talked to is extremely nice. Forgive me, I'm on a lot of meds right now. I just went through a couple of surgeries. The nurse was extremely nice. She was extremely helpful, but after that, it kind of went downhill. They kept me at this hospital for 12 hours. And right away, there was red flags. I walked in and they take me to the back room after making me sit there for a while. And it seemed like they were now I don't see myself as more important than anyone else. And I understand other people were going through issues as well. But there were people walking in after me who were complaining that, oh, maybe I might have the beer bug. I don't know. I kind of got a sore throat. And they were working with them fully while I'm sitting here with a severed finger. And it's, time sensitive. I would appreciate them hurrying up because not only do I have a severed finger and it's bleeding and it's in pain, but I want to see if they could try to reattach it. But of course, things don't work out like the movies. So I'm sitting there for hours on end. They put my finger in some solution. They never cleaned up my arm or anything, bled everywhere. They didn't give me any pain meds, anything. I'm just sitting here chilling, waiting to find out what's going to happen. Now, after sitting there for some hours, they basically told me that they couldn't help me at this hospital. That I would have to go to a hospital that was literally 3.5 hours away from this hospital. To a special hospital that's a burn unit hospital, and they work on things like this. So, of course, this is a time-sensitive situation because I want to see if they could reattach my freaking finger. The cut was very gruesome, but it wasn't mangled in a way that I would think that they couldn't reattach it. But then again, you watch movies and people cut their finger off or their toe off and they put it in an ice chest and just get sewed back on and everything goes back to normal. That is not how it works. That is far from how it works. So I'm sitting in the hospital, no pain meds, looking literally, they didn't even bandage me up yet for hours. And I'm just looking at a cut off pinky. And one of the nurses comes in there, she's like, I have it on ice. She's like, what do you think I should do with it? And I was like, what? What do I think you should do with it? I came to the hospital for y'all to help me. I'm no expert here. So she had to call someone down who was like, oh, this is how you have to pack the finger and stuff like this. So they tell me that I have to go to this special hospital that's 3.5 hours away. So once again, I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself. I'm on a time-sensitive schedule here. I needed this to happen as quick as possible. I'm thinking I'm going to walk in the hospital, they're going to see my finger, they're going to immediately rush me to surgery. No. So after sitting there for hours, I tell the doctors and the nurses, I'm like, hey, I have someone that could take me to the other hospital right now. They could take me there right now, and we could pack my finger up and I can go. They tell me, no, that I can't do that. That they have to take me via ambulance. Mind you, earlier on when I called 911, they couldn't get an ambulance out to me really in time. They said I should just travel myself because they've laid a lot of people off around here because they didn't get the jab or what have you. It's a lot of stuff. So they're like, no, you can't do that. You have to wait on the ambulance. Sat there for like 4 more hours. And then they come to me. Hey, we can't find you an ambulance to take you to the hospital. So it looks like you have to take yourself. By that time, I didn't have a reliable ride all the way, 3.5 hours away and back. So I had to drive myself after sitting in the hospital, hoping they were going to help me. After having to drive myself to that hospital, and that was like 2 hours away. I had to drive from that hospital 3.5 hours away myself, the severed finger, finger completely off, and my finger sitting next to me in the seat. Now, I'm not someone who freaks out at blood. I'm not someone who, I like to think of myself as a strong person. But damn, driving through traffic and having to deal with idiots in traffic and all that type of stuff with your severed body part in the seat next to you, it's extremely stressful. I can tell you that. So, drive 3.5 hours away. By the grace of God, I made it to the hospital. By this time, it's late at night. So I get there. Once again, I get the runaround. They were supposed to have a room ready for me. Everything. I was supposed to just go in, boom. No, I get there. They tell me, oh, I need to go wait until them in the emergency room again. Mind you, I have my finger in some styrofoam thing next to me. I'm holding it. And they want me to go wait in the emergency room again. So it's like I'm starting back from square one. I don't even know how many hours had passed by this time. But luckily, I don't know what it was. Like some security guard spotted me. And he didn't even say anything to me. But I was talking to the secretary and I'm like, listen, I was supposed to have a room already, this, that, and that. And you got to understand, I'm confused myself and I'm kind of out of it myself because I've lost a good bit of blood. I have this finger here. I've been driving all day. So the security guard just comes up and he's like, look, we need to get this man to his room. I didn't talk to him, nothing. There was 100 other people in the emergency room, but he saw me and he realized it. Okay, And that's not, like I said, I don't think I'm more important than anyone else, but there's a lot of people there for BS. And I have a body part in a freaking bag that I'm holding. And I think y'all need to work on my finger, please. So then go through a whole bunch of other BS. Turns out the hospital didn't even pack my finger necessarily the way they were supposed to. And long story short, had to go through a couple of different procedures. And I no longer have half of my pinky. So no, it didn't get reattached. I'm exploring different options right now. There's a lot of things on the table. There's a lot of things that I'm going to have to figure out. But a large part of me feels like that I would probably maybe still have a finger if it wasn't for how I was treated at the first hospital. The second hospital I went to, they were very accommodating. And that's not even to say that the first hospital I went to, there's a lot of nice people there. There's a lot of nice nurses. But they seemed totally out of their element. So they never seen anything like that before. And people were nurses were coming in just to see my finger. They weren't even coming to help me. They just were I wanted to get a peek at the guy who cut his finger off. But this other hospital I went to, they deal with stuff like that all the time. And they were very accommodating. They were very helpful. And from the way it was explained to me by how long it took for me to get there and how long everything, how everything went down, that if they reattached my finger, it would be almost a 95 to 100% chance that it wouldn't work. They would still the nerves in it might not work. So I might not, even if they reattach my finger, I might not even feel it. There was a high chance of it getting infected. And if that's the case, they would have had to take off the rest of my pinky because I still have half a pinky. I still have a portion of a pinky. Luckily, it was on my left hand and I'm right-handed. So the options that were on the table were to either go ahead and have them close it up or to have them reattach it. Now, of course, I wanted them to reattach it, but looking at the statistics of how things work, it just didn't seem as plausible. For one, they would reattach it, but there's no guarantee. It was almost 100% guaranteed that I wouldn't even really be able to feel it. Almost 100% chance that it would get infected and they would just have to take it back off anyway. And then I would have to go through all types of therapy to try to get feeling back in the finger. I would have to be in the hospital for a couple of months, going through intensive like oxygenated treatments, all type of shit. It's just way more complicated than I ever thought it was. You know, like I said, you watch movies and stuff, someone cuts their finger or their toe off, they go to the hospital and they reattach it and they're all good. Hell no, that's not how it works. So yeah, I have half of a pinky. I feel like I would have had possibly my whole pinky right now if it wasn't how I was treated at the first hospital. So I'm exploring avenues and I have a lot of thinking to do about that. But I'm here, I'm happy, I'm positive, it is what it is. So let's go to the next situation. I don't want to name my job, but because of what I do, I'm not sure how effective I will be going forward at that job without a pinky. It's easy to say, oh, you know, you're right-handed. This is how the doctors talk to me. This is basically what I was told. It's easy to say you're right-handed. You don't think you use your left hand much, but that's what you think until your left hand's not available, you know? Actually, they said the pinky finger is one of the most important fingers that you have. They said it would have been better if I lost like, you know, my ring or middle or index finger because it's part of your grip power. So I won't have much grip power in this hand going forward. And because of the line of work I'm in, I'm not sure how effective that will be. And also going forward, I still have a long road ahead of me of recovery. Like I said, I thought it would be simple. I thought they would reattach the finger, or even if they didn't reattach the finger, sew it up. I go about my day. I have to go back Monday to see if they're going to have to operate on it again. I have months of therapy that I have to go through. I have a lot of different checkups I have to go through. The healing process is going to take a while. So I was going to be out of work for who knows how long. You know, I'm looking at, from what the doctor told me, because of the line of work I'm in, 3, maybe even 4 months before I could return back to work and be like 100% effective, even though my 100% won't be the same 100% that I had before. So I explained all this to my boss, and from the way he was acting to me, he didn't downright say it, but he was acting to me like he wasn't sure if I would still have a job. Now, I've been working for my boss for a long time. I know everyone wants to say, you know, you talk to people when they lose their job or they quit their job or they get fired, what have you, and they're always like, you know, I was the best worker at my job, period. You know, I won't go so far as to say that. But I'm the one largely responsible for people even knowing that this business exists. I didn't create the business. I didn't fund the business. But as far as like making the social media pages, finding the clientele, even filming like little cheap commercials for local television, all of that was me. I've been largely responsible for making the business what it is. And that's not saying that I'm the hardest worker when it comes to doing the work, you know, at the jobs. I'm a bigger guy. I mean, some people are faster than me. But as far as getting the customers, getting some recognition for this business, it was almost all me. My boss he's not a savvy person when it comes to like social media and when it comes to branding and when it comes to, I guess, promoting your business, if you will. So all that was me. So when I talked to him and he sounded like it wasn't going to be like a guarantee that I even still have a job when I get healed, despite having worked with him for I don't know how long, despite having known him for how long, it really hit me in a way like, okay, you know? Okay. And just like that, I was like, you know what? It's good. I quit. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Now, I know if you're watching this video, you maybe think I was quitting YouTube. That is not the case. In fact, it is the exact opposite. But I quit the job. I've been working there for a long time. It paid pretty good, you know, but I quit. Because going forward, the future of how my hand even works is still uncertain. And I didn't like that because I felt like it was extremely disrespectful. Like, not even a concern about the fact that I just cut my finger off on the job site. You're acting as if you don't even know if I'm going to have a job when I heal up. So I quit right then and there on the phone. And now going forward, I'm about to take a leap of faith. An extreme leap of faith. What we have going on here on this YouTube channel, it's like a dream come true to me. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's something that I extremely enjoy doing. I really enjoy interacting with you all. I enjoy providing people with, even if it's 10, 15 minutes of an escape from what they're going through, you know? Because YouTube, I love YouTube. If you know me, I hardly watch TV. I'm a YouTube guy. I love going on YouTube, watching people do different things, watching people's different opinions on different things. And YouTube has always been helpful for me to take my mind off of my issues. You know, like while I was sitting in bed last night without a finger, I'm watching YouTube. And of course, you know, had to put on the Pinky and the Brain shirt. I guess I'm just the brain now. But I'm taking an extreme leap of faith here. And going forward, I'm going to try to do this YouTube thing full time. It's not what I expected. I never expected to do that. YouTube is something that I was doing for fun and something that I was doing because I was interested in it. I didn't start off YouTube to make a career out of it. And even to this point, even though you see me pumping out multiple videos a day, I still work almost every day, hours and hours a day. I bust my ass every day and I still come home and make videos. So I'm going to take a leap of faith going forward, and I'm going to try this YouTube thing like just full time and see what happens. You know, at the very least, regardless, I have a recovery road ahead of me before I could really work anyways. Sorry, like I said, I'm still discombobulated. I don't really have all the words put together to say. But going forward, I would just ask for all of you all's support. Because I'm taking this leap of faith and I know that I can't do it without all of you. All of you are extremely helpful. And all of your support is what is going to allow me to take this leap of faith. It's what's allowing me to take this leap of faith right now. I know that a lot of people, like I said, I don't have all the words put together, but I never planned on taking this YouTube thing this seriously. But I do know that I have an opportunity here. You know, I do know that I have a chance here to really grip life by the balls and just take a ride. My last job, you know, I worked hard, but it wasn't a fulfilling job. I never left the job feeling fulfilled. Like, yeah, I really helped somebody today or anything like that. And that's okay with me because I know all jobs, you're not going to get fulfillment in life from all of your jobs. You know, that's life. I get it. But I do get fulfillment here. Every day after I pump out a couple of videos, I get fulfillment. You know, I feel appreciated. And I feel like I can help people here. Not only do I feel like I can help families who have gone through some tragic things, I feel like I can help bring attention to causes that I think are important. But what I mainly mean by saying that I feel like I could help here, I mean that by saying I feel like I could help people take their minds off of what they're going through for a few minutes and just take them into a different world where we talk about different other issues. You know, entertainment is very important. I'm a big pop culture guy. Escapism is very important. And going forward, I hope that I could be a form of escapism for other people as well. Even though that I was working this full-time job, I've managed to put out more content. I mean, this is not to talk down on any one else, but I've managed to put out almost more content than big YouTubers, full-time YouTubers who make millions of dollars off of YouTube. You know, on my good days, I'm pumping out 3 videos a day. And I'm looking at other channels who not only do they work YouTube full time, but they have like assistants and groups helping them and what have you, co-host, all type of shit. And they're not even pumping out content at the rate that I am, even with me having this job and other, you know, priorities that I have to take care of as well. So I feel like going forward, if I concentrate all of my time and efforts on YouTube, I could create something beautiful. Not only do I feel like I can continue going on with what we have going on this channel, but maybe even get more videos out there. I want to get a lot more members only videos out there, which is one way you could hugely support the channel, is by becoming a channel member. Taking this leap of faith going forward, it's going to be extremely critical that I have more channel members. So I want to create, like, I went into this thing, I didn't have a plan. I don't have any help. I do all this by myself, all of it, 100%. You know, most YouTubers, they have like, you would be surprised what goes on behind the scene. Most YouTubers, they have someone who creates their thumbnails. Then they have someone who like gets news articles and headlines together for them to talk about, you know, so they don't have to do the research themselves. Then they have co-hosts who do half the talking for them. They have people, you know, editing their videos for them. You know, there's all types of shit that's going on behind the scenes with a lot of these YouTubers, and I don't have any of that. It's just me on my phone. I'm not even doing this from a camera. As you all know, I don't have a fancy microphone, none of that. I've been doing this all by myself, all from my phone and my computer. So going forward, I feel like I could pump out more content. I want to make more members only videos. Of course, we're going to have to start doing live streams, all of that. But also, I have a lot of other interests in life. You know, I have other YouTube channels, as some of you all may know. And I wanted to approach this from multiple angles. I want everything that's going on this channel is going to stay the same. We're going to keep rolling forward. But in the future, expect more channels. Vlogs, I'm really interested in vlogging. I like vlogging. I want to take you guys around with me to various places. Let's go see some celebrity grave sites. Let's go to some amusement parks, you name it. I got a lot of plans. And I've had these plans for a while, well before I cut my finger off. But now I feel like this is like the opportunity here to just go all out there with it, you know? And if I fail and it doesn't work out, then I have no problem going back and finding another job. I have no issue with that. But I feel like I need to take this leap of faith. I feel like I have an opportunity here, and now is the time, especially with what's going on here. Now, so going forward, you can expect more content, more members only content. I want to get a content strategy together and figure out how I'm going to approach everything. I definitely want to have multiple members only videos a week. Of course, there's still your 2 or 3 videos a day on the main channel, and possibly a video every day on other channels as well. So I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to go full speed ahead YouTube grinding, and I'm going to bring y'all the best content that I can. I do have some equipment already. Some of you all may know that. Thanks to people who have become channel members already. Thanks to some of you all who have donated to my Cash App. I appreciate all of you so much. And I do have some equipment. I got a mic. I got a camera. I got a stream deck. I got a few different things. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and they have been for a while now. I just haven't had the chance with work to set everything up and figure everything out yet. Like I said, I never expected my YouTube channel to take off. I never expected to be in this position. And I'm not a very tech savvy guy. I've never live streamed in my life. I've never even made a Zoom call in my life. None of that. I don't know how OBS or none of this shit works. I don't know how to work this microphone. I got nothing. And because I've been so caught up at my job, I don't have time, you know? I don't have time not to just set the stuff up, but to figure out how to use it because I'm constantly at work. Work. And then I come home, I try to get out whatever videos I can to you all, try to spend some time, you know, with my family. And, you know, because of the things that go on in the videos that we talk about, I try to take, you know, some mental health breaks as well, because we talk about some heavy stuff, you know, and we're having to research all that stuff, having to see a lot of the photos and stuff that I see. It can be stressful. So yeah, oh man, this is a lot. This is definitely a lot, but I hope that I can get you all support going forward. You can support in many, many ways. It's not just financially. Dropping a thumbs up, it goes a long way in helping my video out. Commenting, it goes such a long way in helping my video out. Dropping your comments, dropping your thoughts, replying to other people's thoughts and opinions, it goes a long way to helping my channel out. Of course, subscribing, with most of you all are already subscribed. I do have, you can donate through CashApp, and becoming a channel member is probably going to be the backbone of what I need to solidify going forward. Is I need to get a good member base going forward in order for this leap of faith to be successful. Because YouTube, it doesn't pay as much as people think, and because of what I talk about, that's the real issue. Because of what I talk about here with you all, oftentimes my videos are demonetized, or oftentimes, even though they are monetized, they can't find ads, or they just don't put ads on them. And sometimes even when I try to show you all clips of things that happen, like random, it shouldn't be this way. I think this is actually illegal, because news information is supposed to be like a public information. But yet there's these, I don't know what it is, but there's these corporations who like copyright random videos. Like, okay, there might be a police shooting or some type of tragic event. They'll copyright those videos and extort YouTubers for the money. So you'll put out a video and you'll think everything's fine because this is public information. It was captured on someone's cell phone, you know? And then later on you get hit with the copyright strike and they take all the money that you made, and it's also bad for your channel. So making these true crime videos, and especially the way I do it, saying what I feel, it's extremely hard to get away with on YouTube, especially if you're trying to make money on YouTube. So that's why I say the memberships is going to have to be my backbone going forward. But also that's another reason why I want to approach this YouTube thing from multiple angles. I don't want to spread myself too thin, but man, I have so many interests. I love talking to you all about these true crime stories. I love talking to you all about the news, things like that. Also, I have my Fat and Opinionated channel because I have opinions on all type of shit that I like to talk about. So if you ever go over there, you're going to get opinion pieces about random things happening in our culture, random things happening in our country. I have a toy collecting channel where I used to go around and find old vintage toys and video games and things like that. I definitely want to crank that back up. I definitely want to start going back to comic cons and different things like that, capturing all that content for you all. Maybe even approach it from a food review angle. There's so many different ideas that I have, and I can't wait to implement them going forward. And you're definitely going to notice that we're going to start steamrolling. We're going to start steamrolling. So even if news is slow today, guess what? I got other content to bring you all that has other things to do, to do with other things. You might sit down, watch a true crime video. You might want a palate cleanser, After watching a few true crime videos about people getting killed, sometimes you want to watch something happy. Boom, click over to my next channel. Here I am, a vlog at Disney World, telling you about different snacks. I want to approach this thing from every angle that I possibly can, because it's something that I really love doing it. It's something I always wanted to do, my main dream in life was to be a filmmaker. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet. Maybe one day it will. You know, who knows what might happen. But going forward, I'm taking this leap of faith. I'm going to launch a couple of new channels while simultaneously working even harder on this channel. And I'm going to have more time to flesh things out to where I can get a more effective content strategy, maybe a time down pat of when you all will see my videos uploaded. Maybe even, you know, you might see more videos coming out. And the live streaming is definitely something I need to start, but it's something that I have to learn. But yeah, I've been sitting here talking to you all for I don't know how long, and I know I've been rambling on. I'm really discombobulated. I'm on a lot of pain medicine right now. And yeah, so life has just been hectic. This is where I've been for the last couple of days. I know you all are wondering. I know there's updates in the Bob Saget case and different cases like that, and I'm going to try to crank some videos out today talking about that. But I just wanted to let you all know what was going on with me and what I plan on doing going forward. So I hope that you all are here with me. I hope that you all are along for this journey. I appreciate everyone for their support so far, and just a thanks in advance for everyone's support moving forward, because this is an extreme leap of faith, and I have faith in myself. It's not just me having faith in myself that I can do this, but I have faith in the audience that I built, and I have faith in this community that we built over here, because I feel like we have a community of extremely nice, you know, helpful, good people, because the world needs more of that. Trust me. And you look at some YouTube comment sections, they're so toxic and crazy. And when I go through my YouTube comments, you know, there's jackasses here and there, but all of you all have been extremely loving and compassionate, and I love all of you all as well. So hopefully I'll get a couple more videos out today. If I don't, then you know why, and you can expect more going forward. But like I said, I'm taking this leap of faith. You're going to start seeing, you know, more traffic. You're going to start seeing more videos. You're going to see more channels being launched. But the next couple of weeks are going to be extremely hectic for me. I have to travel back to that hospital, which is about 4 hours away from where I live. I'm going to have to go back there multiple times. So I'm going to be out of town multiple times. I have a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of stuff going forward, and I'm going to be on a lot of medicine. So I don't know exactly how I will feel. So the next couple of weeks may be kind of slow, depending on how I feel. But after that, once I get back straight and I'm back right, it's full steam ahead. Full steam ahead going forward. But like I said, appreciate all the support. Drop a comment, drop a thumbs up. And as always, find some time out of your day to not cut your finger off. Please don't do it.